everyone, and welcome to my A2 Pre-Intermediate English course. In this module, you will learn the present perfect and its form and uses. At the end, you will get to practice what you just learned with a few sample exercises. Let's get started. All right, let's look at this chart here. We have the form and the meaning. So we'll first look at the form real quick. So, starting with positive sentences. So the present perfect uses, we have the subject, I, you, we, they, okay? And then have, we use have, and then we use the past participle of the verb. So I have seen her. Um, or when we have third person, like he, she, and it, we use, we say has. Um, so he or she has seen her. Or we can use an apostrophe s contraction. He's or she's seen her. All right. For negative, we insert not between have and the verb. So I, you, or we have not or haven't seen her. All right. And for third person here, has not or hasn't seen her. For a question, it starts with um, have or has, right? Um, and then the subject and then the verb. So, have you seen her, for example, or has she seen her? Um, all right, and then for a short answer, we can say yes, I have, or yes, he has, or no, I have not or haven't. It's more common to use the contraction, right? Um, all right, or no, he, she, or it has not had or hasn't. All right, so the meaning we'll look really quickly here. So the present perfect is used for past recent events. We don't say when, um, or with time expressions including now. Okay, and then the second use is for past experiences. We don't say when these events happen as well. We just know that we had this experience. And then the third main use is for unfinished situations. So these were situations that started in the past and haven't finished yet. So an example of this is how long have you been here? I have been here all day. Right. So we'll look more at these and the signal words in the next slides. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the form and the use. Go over that. So we form the present perfect tense with the verb have and the past participle of the verb, like we looked at. So the past participle is the same as the past simple when we use ed, the ed ending for regular verbs. For irregular verbs, the ending is en or a different spelling. So, for example, taken, gone, sung. So these two, gone and sung, are different. Taken is uses en. Gone is past participle for go, and sung past participle for sing. All right, the use. So we normally use the present perfect to talk about past events that have a connection with the present. For example, news or past experiences. We can also use the present perfect to talk about situations that started in the past but which are still true in the present. So, okay, let's look here. Okay, so recent events and news. So, we use the present perfect to talk about these recent events or news. We don't say when these events happen. So, for example, I've passed the test, right? We don't know when, but we know that this person has passed. She has broken her arm, or the president has traveled to Cuba. So, we're not saying when these happen, they're just a recent or event or something you just heard. Okay, these expressions, just, yet, and already, these are signal words. So we often use the present perfect with these words, right? Just, yet, and already. We use just in positive sentences to say that something happened very recently, like minutes ago. For example, I've just seen Peter in the street. And then we've got he looks happy because he has just gotten married. So these events happen like this one, first one, it would be minutes ago, like you just now saw Peter. And then this one could be a day or 2 days ago, for example. Okay, okay. So we use yet in negative sentences and in questions. We put it at the end of the sentence, usually. So, have you washed the dishes yet? So, and then we have, I haven't called him yet, or she hasn't arrived yet. Same thing. All right. Um, because we're asking if something has happened like we expected, right? So that's why we use yet. So we use already in positive sentences to say that something happened before now. This is usually earlier than we expected. So, for example, I have already finished my homework, or they have already built their house. So, these actions here happened earlier than we expected. So, all right. Okay, let's talk about life experiences. So, we often use the present perfect to talk about past experiences in our lives. And we don't say when these experiences happen. So, for example, I have run, this means I have run the Boston Marathon twice. Or she has never been on a cruise. And then we've been here before. I remember. Okay, so it doesn't say when these happened or didn't happen. This one's negative. She didn't have this or experience yet. But yeah, um, just the important thing is we did experience these at least once. All right, so never, ever, and before. So when we ask about someone's life experiences, we often use the word ever. So, for example, have you ever read this book? Or have you ever been to India? So, all right. Okay. When we talk about life experiences in general, we often use the words never or before. For example, she has never been late, or I think I have seen this film before. So these also, I mean, these are just general. She has never been late. And then before. Uh, it doesn't say when, of course. All right, let's talk about unfinished actions using how long, for, and since. So we use the present perfect with the words how long, for, and since to talk about actions or situations that started in the past and still continue or are still true now. For example, I've lived in Oslo since I was born. So this really means I was born in Oslo and I still live there. So, all right, then we have they have been married for 25 years. So this means they got married 25 years ago, right? And they're still married. Okay, so these are still true situations. All right. Okay, so we use how long in questions to ask about the duration of an action or situation. So, for example, how long has she been a teacher, right? Or how long has she had her car? So, yeah, these are both uh, asking how long for a situation, being a teacher and having a car. All right, we use for plus a period of time, uh, like for 2 weeks, for 10 years, for 10 days, or for a few hours, and so on. For example, we've been here for a few hours, so that's a duration of time. Or they've or they have been married for 10 years. Okay, this is a period of time, um, period or duration. Okay, and then we use since plus a moment in the past, like say the beginning of some period of time. For example, since I was born, since 10 o'clock, since last Wednesday, etc. So we'll look at these. We haven't eaten since 4 o'clock. So this is negative here. It hasn't happened. The last time we ate was at 4 o'clock here. All right. And then we have they've been working together since 2010. So this was since this period of time or moment in the past that that this has been happening, working together. Okay. Okay, now we must be careful with these common mistakes. We use the present perfect and not the present simple for actions or situations that started in the past and are still true now. Okay, so when we look at these, we are friends since first grade. And then this one, we've been friends since first grade. So this one doesn't sound right. So this one started in the past being friends, right? And it's still true. Okay, we use for plus a time range and not since with ago to introduce a period of time. So we'll compare these examples. They've been married since 10 years ago. Okay, so that's the mistake here. We don't want that. It should be they've been married for 10 years. Just for, not since. All right. And then she has lived in Brazil since 5 months ago. Same type of mistake. Um, we're not using since and ago, but it should be she's lived in Brazil for 5 months. Um, so yes, just expressing how long, uh, not when this time period started. All right, well, we're gonna go on to do a few sample exercises and check our knowledge. All right, so from the drop-down menu, we'll choose which is the correct one. So number one, I've had this car. All right, so we have since or for. All right, so talking about a time duration. So if you chose for, that is correct. Okay, number two, we've known each other. We were in school. Okay, so for or since. Okay, so talking about beginning of a time or an event or situation. So if you chose since, that would be the correct answer. Okay, three, I haven't eaten anything this morning. So since or for? All right, so same situation. If we chose since, that would be correct. All right, for, she hasn't slept 2 days. Okay, again, this indicates how long something lasted or didn't last. Okay, for or since. Okay, so if you chose for, that obviously sounds better. Okay, and number five, I have wanted to be a writer. I was a child. Okay, which one looks correct? So, beginning of a time or I mean a situation here. So, if you chose since, that would be correct. All right, let's look at number two. Okay, multiple choice here again. Okay, so we're starting with the question. Which one looks like the best start? Have ever you been? Have you ever been? Or have you been ever to Rome? Okay, so we know that ever always comes before the verb. So if you chose option B, have you ever been? That would be correct. Okay, number two, have you had lunch? Okay, we're looking at yet, just, or already. Okay, so all right, so if we're asking, we don't know if this happened. If so, if you chose option A, yet, that would be correct. Have you had lunch yet? Okay, number three, I, the keys that I lost yet. Okay, so now this would be for negative, obviously. So we have haven't finded, or haven't found. All right, so the correct verb form is what we're looking for. Okay, so if you chose option C, haven't found, that would be correct. Okay, number four, I what Peter since I was 5 years old. Okay, so know, have known, or have knew. Okay, so the one that seems to be correct is, well, we know that we're using the past participle here, so option B, have known Peter since I was 5 years old. Okay, let's try one more here. I what my pen. Can I use yours? Okay, I've lose, or have lost. All right, so if you chose option C, have lost, that would be correct. Okay, what's the third exercise look like? Okay, so for this one, we're gonna write sentences with these words using present perfect. So number one, we have he lose his keys. Okay, so we're starting with he. Okay, okay, has lost. That'd be the past participle. His, oops, keys. His keys. All right. Very good. And then number two, I have not coffee this morning. So the sentence in the correct tense. So I. So we can say the contraction haven't, right? Had coffee this morning. Oops. There we go. All right. Okay, number three. She never lie to us. Okay. So we have she, okay, has, and then never lied to us. All right. Great job on these exercises. I believe it went well because you listen well. All right. So, well, I can help you speak English with more confidence for sure. I'm TESOL certified. I teach native U.S. English. I am experienced in online tutoring, and I work with all learning levels and most age groups. So, whether you need help with grammar, speaking, vocabulary, or writing, or any other area, you've come to the right place. Well, thank you for watching my video and happy learning.